All right. Good evening, everyone. Jong Uy right here, and welcome back to the Racing Lines, the purple sector, because last weekend was the French Grand Prix, and I'm gonna bring now my good buddies. Nagulat ako dun sa Yamboy, Myles, and Andy. Unahin natin yung nagpakita ng ano. Myles, how are you?
Ah, hello Internet, hello YouTube, hello Facebook. Welcome to another episode of the Purple Sector. And I hope everyone is safe and fine.
Yep,
And sa
especially
mga
our friends
kaibigan natin
in
sa may
Luzon.
sa may norte, I hope you're all safe there
Mhm.
and you're all safe and sound. So if you could still join us, we're here to talk about the just concluded French Grand Prix,
French, yeah.
wherein maraming heartbreaks and joys, kung yun yung aking term. Joys and heartbreaks during that Grand Prix.
Yeah. Nice.
So,
All right.
later, we'll talk more about that.
Yam, how are you, Yam? Mr. Talyer TV
Yes,
in the house. Yep.
Oh, good evening. And then, first of all, our prayers and thoughts to our brothers and sisters in Northern Luzon. They were hit by a 7 magnitude earthquake. So,
Yeah.
I hope everyone is safe. Tonight, magbibigay kami ng aliw. Minsan, babaliw-baliw din kami mamaya-maya lahat ng konti. I hope you could still join us. Sana safe kayo lahat.
All
Alright.
right.
Andy.
Andy, how are you?
Right. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, kung saan man kayo, whatever, wherever you are watching this. And welcome to the Racing Lines post-race talk show. This is the Purple Sector.
Yeah.
And of course, we start things off with, a message of safety. No? Our thoughts and our prayers go out to our countrymen andyan sa Northern Luzon. Guys, stay safe, everyone. I hope everyone is safe. I hope everyone's doing okay.
All
And
right.
with that, we are going to start talking about the recently concluded French Grand Prix.
Yep. And Yam, to start it off, Mr. Talyer
Okay.
TV, let's go with the qualifying sessions.
Alright.
Wow, I love
yeah.
this. May sponsor.
Oh,
Yung sponsor mo.
yeah. Before anything else, tonight's analysis is brought to you by
Rust
Masters.
Wow.
Auto
Right.
Shop. Yes,
Nice,
your
nice.
one-stop shop on repairs, custom works, fabrication, and restoration, which turns this into this.
Wow.
All right. Okay. Umpisahan natin.
Alright.
Formula 1 Lenovo Grand Prix de France.
Yep.
All right. Ano bang nangyari? Well, I would really like to first discuss the things that happened during the qualifying. If you can remember the qualifying, Ferrari did a Red Bull, meaning nagpato si Charles Leclerc kay Carlos Sainz. So it was Q3, and then para nga masigurado ni Charles ang kanyang pole position, tinulungan siya ni Carlos Sainz. Anyway, si Carlos pwede niyang i-sacrifice yung Q3 niya because meron namang gagawin dun sa magpapalit siya ng engine, magpapalit siya ng mga power units and whatever. So nasa hulihan din siya ng linya pagdating sa grid. So that's why tinulungan niya si Charles Leclerc. Pero I would like to point out na during the run, Charles Leclerc got the provisional pole at 1 minute 30 and 8:72. And then Max Verstappen, while he was finishing his lap, yellow ang first and second sector niya. So ibig sabihin, mabagal siya doon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pero ang lamang ni Charles kay Max is just 0.3 of a second. So, mabilis talaga si Red Bull pagdating sa straights. Kaya, yun ang unang napansin ko regarding the qualifying. Guys, napanood nyo ba yung qualifying session?
Miles?
Yes.
Miles first.
Yun nga, during the qualifying, all I can say is, the Ferrari really has the pace, di ba? Makikita naman natin, and especially Carlos Sainz, who was mentioned by Yamboy earlier, na kakaroon naman din siya, he will be starting at the back kasi meron siyang grid place penalty because yun ang alam nga natin na natusta ang kanyang engine last time around. So, kaya nga, tinulungan niya si Charles to get the pole. And makikita natin na mabilis talaga ang pace ng Ferrari as compared to the others. As yun nga, obviously makita naman sa time difference between them and the Red Bulls and the Mercedes team.
Yes. Andy, anything to add?
Yes, of course. No, with the qualifying, of course, with the current heat wave that is
In Europe.
and in Europe, yeah, it's enveloping a lot of the countries in Europe lately. No, well, even right now as we speak. So, just for everyone's reference, it was 33 degrees on track while they were conducting qualifying. So, of course, with F1, with the tires of these F1 cars, very sensitive to heat. So, it really played into yung tinatawag na track evolution, kumbaga yung kung saan nagsisimula yung isang driver compared to where he ends up by the end of Q1, Q2, and Q3. So very interesting very interesting dynamic yung increased temperature talaga. Because considering this is Paul Ricard after all, it's not exactly the most exciting track in the F1 calendar, if we're being
Very long.
honest.
The track
Yes,
is very long.
so very long with very minimal elevation change, and it's just a plain flat track, diba? And over the years, it's built the reputation as being boring, hard to overtake, blah blah blah. But I'm glad I'm wrong because this time, the Paul Ricard kind of delivered. If you're a more enthusiastic F1 fan with not so many affiliations with a certain red team, which we will get into later on.
Yeah. All right. So guys, let's.
All right.
Before we're gonna go to the race, let's check out some shout outs.
Uy, dami
Yes,
na.
there we go. Eloisa, good evening. Yes, Joner from Cebu, good evening. Daisy, yes, good evening. Dexter and Azakar Asilia, good evening. Michael, good evening. Watching from Bohol, more power the racing line. Yes, Michael, good evening.
Yung gabi.
Maayong gabi sa inyo diha. Alright. And there we go. Ayun. Alright, so let's go to
Sakto.
the race. Yam? My turn? Or
Okay.
yours?
Sige, ikaw. Go ahead.
Alright, so lights off and the way we go. Wait, dali. Nawala ako.
Ikaw ang na-lights off, Jong.
Yeah, ako
Yun
na
na.
lights out.
Yun na.
Okay.
Yun na, lights out na yan.
Yeah.
So
Yam,
this
ikaw
is the approaching into turn
Okay.
1, di ba?
Yeah. Yam, go.
Sa akin muna, okay. All right. So this is it's lights out and away they go. This angle, hindi masyado natin makikita yung gera, pero dito.
Yun.
Gusto ko lang Ayan. All right. Leclerc, Verstappen. Hamilton nauna na agad kay kay Perez. Si Hamilton was fourth on the grid. Si Perez third, pero sluggish ang start ni Perez, kaya nauna si Hamilton. And then at the back of Perez is Russell, Norris, and I would like to point out Manong Alonso right here.
Yeah.
Yes. Kasi
Mixing
Manong
it up with the
Alonso
young
is
kids.
notorious. Yeah, notorious for starts talaga itong si Manong. Okay, let me show you this angle right here. Alright, eto pa din sila, yung first 7 natin. Leclerc is ahead of Verstappen, approaching the corner. Hamilton right here. Perez, lagish pa rin si Checo, my boy. We have Russell here on the outside. Norris and Alonso. Itong si
Yeah.
Alonso, bantayan ninyo. Halos magkapantay na sila ni Norris. Pagdating dyan, ayan na. Dito na magkakaalaman. Leclerc, Verstappen, Hamilton. Ang ganda na ng kanilang positioning dito. Perez, hirap pa din. Norris, Russell, medyo nakikita ninyo dito kasi sluggish pa din si Perez. Norris and Russell nahihirapan ng mag-abante. Kaya itong si Alonso, kinuha ang opportunity. Ayan na. Ito si Alonso, naunahan na niya yung dalawa. Alright? Manong Alonso, superb performance from the 40-year-old. Diba? Boys, anong masasabi niyo?
Yes.
Experience really pays off, man. Having
Yes.
raced for how many
Absolutely.
Grand Prix already. And he was actually not only that na experience, but also the Alpines for this year is really has a good pace, compared to other midfielders like McLaren, di ba? Head-to-head battle between an Alpine and a McLaren. Talagang McLaren's
Panalo ang Alpine. Oh.
yes, Alpines really has the
Advantage
pace.
advantage talaga.
Yeah.
Yes. Considering na makikita natin sa standings ni Ocon, ni Esteban Ocon and ni Manong Fernando. Ang ganda ng kanilang ng pace nila, ang ganda ng kanilang mga resulta sa qualifying. Kaya Manong Fernando really made it easy to overtook the Mercedes of George Russell and the McLaren of Lando Norris. Kaya nga, hats off to Manong Fernando.
Yeah.
Manong talaga. Basta Manong,
Manang
ayos.
talaga, no? Mixing
Alright,
it up with
here.
the young kids.
We can see here Yuki Tsunoda having a spin caused by Mr. Ocon.
Yep,
Nakakuha
unfortunately.
si Ocon dito ng 5-second penalty. Yes, they hit each other. So kawawang Yuki.
Yuki na naman.
Ito yung unang spin niya. And this cost him the
Yuki na
race
naman.
kasi na-damage yung kanyang na-damage yung
Nabutas.
kaha
Pad niya.
niya. May flap.
Nabutas.
Yes,
Butas
yes.
yung side pad. Sayang. So,
Alright,
yeah,
and then
Yuki Tsunoda
this-
he had to retire.
This photo right
Sayang
here, ito yung pinaka-close na naging battle ni Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen from lap 1 up to lap 3. Ito yung pinaka-close ni Max kay Charles, pero you know the pace of Ferrari. What can you say about the pace of Ferrari pagdating sa kurbada? Grabe talaga.
Yeah, they have a faster pace in the
Naiiwan
corners.
talaga.
Yeah.
Yeah, corners, grabe. So, anything to add, Andy, regarding the
Yeah, of
pace
course.
of Ferrari?
Yeah, so we already know na from the start of the season, Ferrari they've been kind of banking towards a more downforce heavy na kumbaga na setup. So they've said it outright, di ba, na they plan to beat Ferrari in the corners, in the slow bits of the tracks. So this is Ferrari basically playing to their strengths, which is good. The only downside to this is when you have more downforce, you also have more drag. And with more drag, you also have more tire degradation kasi you wanna give more energy to the rear tires to keep them spinning quicker, di ba? So that is the slight lang na trade-off between Red Bull and Ferrari. But yeah, that was a very, very interesting sequence dyan when you can actually see for yourself how effective Ferrari's strategy is, well, at this point at least, which again we will get to into more detail later on.
I think everybody knows
Natia,
already.
yeah, everyone knows. Anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, this is Ferrari hardware. Let's just put it that way. Ferrari's hardware is really paying off in the curbs and in the slow corners. Like Yamboy said, this is probably the only time na talagang nagbattle si Leclerc at saka si Verstappen, and you could clearly see who was winning that battle at that point. Leclerc was pulling away by lap 17. Verstappen was 2.4. Verstappen was already well behind. He could not keep up and decided to pit. First pit stop kagad ni Verstappen, 17 pa lang.
They tried to do an undercut.
They tried to do the undercut. Well, tried or maybe talagang naubusan sila ng option at this point. Nakita nila na mahirap talaga talunin ang Ferrari on this particular track.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are going to this is the photo of Verstappen's first pit stop.
Nagpalit ba sila ng gulong di? I think they started off with mediums.
So Verstappen, yep, that's right. So Verstappen started off in mediums, I believe, and now he went to hards. So he was playing the long game at this point.
Yeah.
Very, very good pit stop as usual for Ferrari. 2.4 seconds. Excellent pit stop. This puts Verstappen out in P7 after this pit stop. And it's at this point that Ferrari confirmed they're on plan B, whatever that means. I think di ba usually plan B is parang one stop or two stop ba yan?
Plan B
Myles,
is for barrier.
Yeah.
I was hoping not to say that, pero
Wait. Saglit. Before we
Anyway,
Shoutout.
proceed.
May mga
siglet,
shoutout.
tingnan natin.
Yeah.
May mga
Efren
shoutout na naman.
Lastimoso.
Sige.
Mayong gabi, mga sir. From Toledo City, Cebu. Yes. Good
Uy,
evening sa
May
Gabi,
inyo.
sir.
kagigilihan sa
Yes. Dennis Peninsula. Good evening. Yes. Good evening, Dennis. Nuska.
Shoutout
Amer. Good evening, Amer. Yes. Miss you too. And Olive Saez.
Sweet
Olive.
naman.
Congratulations
Olive.
for
Ate Olive.
for passing the IELTS exam. So
Uy, congrats.
Wow!
Yeah.
Congratulations!
congrats,
Alright.
Olive.
Basig din na pa to. Baka dito papuntahin si Ate Olive.
Kaya
Ewan ko.
siya, kay Sebastian Ocon siya na lugar papunta.
Wow.
Alright.
Wow.
Sino si Sebastian Ocon?
Sebastian.
Esteban pala, sorry.
Esteban Ocon.
Esteban Ocon. Sorry. Si
Ah,
Sebastian
France.
German.
Anyway.
Alright.
Tusog France. Wow. Nice one.
Where were we?
Yeah, here, the pit stop.
So,
Pit stop of
Okay.
pit stop
Verstappen.
ni
And
Verstappen. And very early on into the race.
Okay.
Who would
This was
like to
lap-
break this down?
Yeah.
Myles.
Ikaw na, Jong.
Myles has a good
Okay,
material in this one.
Nagkahiyaan
John.
pa sila. Oh.
if you watch this race, this is a little bit after the pit stop of Verstappen. So basically, ang nangyari dito, Hamilton yung naghahabol sa kanya, malayo masyado. So parang nag-skid lang siya ng kanya. Alright? So, ngayon, unfortunately, a lot of analysis that I saw after the race, why did Leclerc spin all by himself? Okay. I think it's, ayun, Myles, ayun. Siya lang
Let's
mag-isa yan.
John, let's bring up the footage
Yeah,
here
this one.
from Myles.
Yeah, Myles. Yun.
Medyo
All
by
heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's really heartbreaking kasi considering
Ay.
Hamilton was 9 seconds behind.
Yeah.
So, I mean, sayang talaga. It's probably tire degradation or, I mean, he lost the rear. So kaya bad kay Charles, sayang naman.
Yeah.
So
So,
bad luck talaga.
I think they were still
Oh,
trying
so-
to I think they were still trying to what do you call that? Parang gusto pa nila ng restart eh. I'm not sure about
Yep.
the radio
Yep.
um, conversation
Transcript,
between
yung
him
transcript
and
nila.
the technical crew. They were trying to say, "Are you okay or okay?" Tapos then Charles was shouting about the accelerator. I think they were trying to back up the car and
Yep,
maybe
that's
go
right.
back to the pits
That's right.
and change the front wing, sort of, no? But
Absolutely.
he was complaining about again, similar to what racetrack was that? What race was that
Yung
he was
previous.
Red Bull
complaining
Ring. Red Bull
about?
Ring.
Red Bull Ring.
Red Bull Ring
About
yun.
his accelerator
Throttle.
pedal, throttle. Okay, so
That's right.
I wonder why it's still an issue.
Mayroon akong
Sayang,
conspiracy theory. May theory ako niyan, Jong,
Hala,
sa kanilang
sige daw.
pedals.
Go daw.
If we could very well remember, at para sa akin, there's only FIA to blame
Okay.
regarding sa pedals. Ito
Ooh,
pawang
interesting.
opinion ko lang po ito at walang kinalaman ng aking mga kasama. Opinion ko lang po. Hindi, ito lately, naririnig natin ang problem sa mga pedals. Diba? And FIA announced a few races ago that they would be starting a pedal cam.
Oh.
They started off with certain drivers. Parang they installed pedal
Lando?
cams. I don't know if it's
Yep.
something to do, nakakapekto ba yan sa performance ng pedals. I'm not a race engineer. I'm not an F1 engineer. But I'm just a conspiracy nut theory. Conspiracy theory nut. Kaya, yun na nga. Sa akin lang, bakit nagsilitawan lahat ng mga problema sa pedals and the throttles when FIA decided to lighten things up, to entertain us with a pedal cam. I don't know what entertainment value is na makikita natin yung paa
You're
nila.
watching the pedal doing. No, there's no entertainment there because there's just two pedals,
Pero,
the brake
kaya
and the
nga.
accelerator.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
Exactly.
Mas maganda pa
Walang
yung
entertainment
footwork.
talaga doon.
Unless meron kang, like
Clutch.
a rally driver
work.
where you do the clutch and,
Yan.
so,
Yep.
I don't think so.
Pero I don't know, theory ko lang yun. Pero yun nga, nagkataon lang siguro, nagkataon lang.
Okay, so basically,
Pero
this
balik
is,
tayo, balik tayo kay Chuck.
yeah, so basically this is what threw his race away. So may nag-mention kanina while we were not live that pole position of Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen halos magkagaya lang, but mas marami pang panalo si Max Verstappen as mas maraming talo si Charles.
Yep, much more wins.
Yes, due to
Kawawa naman.
did and F did not finish. So,
Yep.
aside from did not finish,
Malas talaga.
problems with the team
Strategy.
strategy. So,
Yeah.
yeah. We're gonna talk about team strategy of the
Tragedy.
Ferrari later on, which is
Yes.
yum. All right. So after this,
Yeah, sure.
ayun si Myles.
Ayun, no.
O yun.
Yeah, it's
Na-late.
Heartbreaking picture.
yeah. So
Yeah.
Late lang, pero
Sa
okay lang
heartbreak.
yun. Ay, nako. Yeah,
Right.
not a good day to be a Charles Leclerc fan
Yeah.
or a Ferrari fan. Unfortunately.
Actually,
Again.
all eyes were on Chuck. All eyes were on Chuck kasi
Oh, absolutely.
he has a very good package. He has the pace. He has everything. The track is not that technical. Kayang-kaya na talaga, parang akmang-akma ng French Grand Prix sa isang Ferrari na car.
yeah.
Pero yun na nga, unforeseen error, they say driver error. Inamin naman ni Chuck at the end during the post-race interviews, pero yun na nga. Really, as you can see naman, kawawa. Makita natin the heartbreak that Chuck
And the
encountered.
famous shout and his famous shout no.
Yeah.
Hindi,
So,
actually, Jong, hindi kay Leclerc yung shout na yun.
kanino yun?
Shout yun ng
Sa lahat.
unggoy. Shout yun ng unggoy sa sa France. Shout yun ng gorilla. Gorilla ba
Yung trophy.
No!
Yung trophy.
Oh, yung trophy.
Oo.
Yung trophy daw yun, hindi yun ano.
Yeah, grabe.
God.
Alright, Yam,
Di, kasi,
proceed.
it's just,
Alright.
Sige, sige.
Yeah,
Wait. Andy.
heartbreaking lang kasi, heartbreaking lang kasi in case na our viewers, no, our valued viewers weren't really watching the race at this point. Leclerc was in the lead. He was leading the race by a fair margin already.
Yeah.
Gaya na na-mention nila kanina na ang layo na ng linya kay Hamilton in P2. And yes, he could have very well saved his race if he was able to back out of that wall. Kasi yun nga, it was a slow crash, di ba? He spun, he went into the wall, pero there was minimal damage, to be honest. His wing was fine. Front wing was fine. He could have found a reverse and backed out. Pero yun nga, yung sa radio niya, di ba? I couldn't find throttle. Kasi with these F1 cars, they do not have a set reverse gear like our cars do. So it's a bit of a mission basically to find the reverse gear and engage it and back the car up. Kasi these cars are not designed to reverse. Kaya sayang talaga na yan yung nangyari kay Charles kasi he still had a chance basically. Hindi lang niya na take yung chance. Hence the blood-curdling scream, 'di ba? You could really hear the heartbreak sa kanyang boses, and I'm just really hoping na this will not be his, kumbaga, let's call it his Sebastian Vettel German Grand Prix 2019 moment, 'di ba? If you guys recall that race. Yeah, Seb went into the wall extremely upset with himself kasi yun nga, it wasn't really anyone's fault but his, pero it was the straw that broke Sebastian's back, kumbaga. It broke the camel's back when he was still in Ferrari. He was not the same driver that he was after that crash. He was fine physically, pero something in his mind broke that day. I'm hoping na Charles hasn't gone through this exact same scenario with this crash kasi yun nga, sayang ba na parang hanggang dyan lang makita mo ka Leclerc. I really hope not. I hope he gets over this incident and comes back strong kasi yun nga, we want Leclerc to be competitive at the very least.
Saka
we want him to take it to Max. We want him to take it to everyone else. We want him to challenge Verstappen for the title.
Yeah,
Diba?
Leclerc's still young.
That's what makes it a race. Yeah, he's young, I know, but sometimes these moments kasi these moments are what break people, kumbaga.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that moment did not break Charles. I know he's good, but I hope that didn't break him.
All right.
Yun lang.
Yam.
Seryoso, no?
Thanks, point
Okay.
Dr. Mira.
Well,
Sobrang seryoso eh.
Yam, go.
As we can all remember, that was really hurting, no? Kahit ako, I'm not a Ferrari fan, but my heart goes to Charles sa nangyari sa kanya dito. Anyway, eto, since si Charles nagkaroon nga ng aksidente, safety car was deployed. So all teams, syempre, naturally, all teams, they all went to the pit to change their tires. Anyway, 18th lap na itong aksidente na ito. So I think it's about time, especially for those na naka soft tires, na pwede na sila mag-change kasi ang prediction ng tire manufacturer is up to 18 laps lang daw yung kanilang yellow tires.
Medium
The
tires.
only medium tires. The only losers regarding about this one is Haas team. Kasi nauna si Haas mag-pit no? Before the yellow flag. So nag-change na kagad sila ng gulong before pa the yellow flag. So sayang, nagkaroon sana sila ng free pit, pero hindi, nauna sila. So sayang, I was really rooting for them in this one. And then in this photo right here, this one is the unsafe ano ba yan?
Release.
Unsafe
Unsafe
release of
Unsafe release.
Carlos Sainz, no? Ito si
Nicolas Latifi.
Albon.
Albon ba? Hindi Albon.
Yes, Albon. Oh, sa Albon yan.
Williams.
Alex Albon.
Albon. Very quick on the
Alex
brakes.
Albon.
Alexander
Yes,
Albon.
yes.
Yeah.
Very quick.
And then this one is Carlos Sainz. Pero one thing to point out ay dito na nag pile up ang bad luck ni Ferrari. Okay? Another angle right here. As you can see, yung gulong na nilagay kay Carlos is yellow.
Medium.
So it means medium. So they are still expecting to pit Carlos siguro about lap 40. Kasi nga, 18 laps lang ang itatagal ng yellow. Nagtataka ako dito una kasi he was doing good on hards and then pinalitan nila ng yellow and then syempre yung yellow since mapupudpud ka agad ng maaga compared doon sa hards, ipipit na naman nila ulit si Carlos, di ba? Number one. Number two is masyadong mahaba ang pit exit ni Paul Ricard itong
this
racetrack na
yeah.
ito. Yeah, about 28 to 30 seconds ang mawawala sa iyo. That's why a lot of teams or majority of the teams they did plan B or one stop para maiwasan nga yung masyadong matagal sa paglabas ng pit. So anyway, yan na yung bad luck nila. Second, ang first bad luck nila is while changing the tire of Carlos, medyo natagalan kasi nagkaroon ng problema ang rear right, kaya medyo matagal na deploy si Carlos kasi hinihigpitan pa nila. And then pag deploy nila kay Carlos, eto na nga, unsafe release of the car. So ayan na yung mga kamalasan nila and itong gulong na ito. So mamaya maiintindihan natin kung bakit ang strategy ni Ferrari is ipit nila si Carlos after the battle between a lot of other cars, di ba? For example, this is a battle between Carlos and Manong Alonso. Manong Alonso kasi black yung camera. Alright, nauna siya dyan. Pagkatapos niyan, this one is Russell. Na-overtake niya si Russell. And then after that, eto na.
Checo Perez.
I mean, Carlos Sainz was really having a good battle with Checo Perez and suddenly the radio message came na
Box.
okay, box.
Pinapabox.
So not now.
Pinapapit siya.
Alright. Dito guys, what can you say about the strategy? Alam ko meron kayong mga theory dito before ko ibigay yung theory ko. Miles, Andy or Jong?
Let me start.
Miles.
Okay.
Miles.
Carlos Sainz, okay. Really, hindi ko alam anong pwede ko itawag kay Carlos Sainz during this race. Pero he started off at the back of the grid and he fought his way to the front considering, yun na nga, syempre, fresh engine, maganda yung package na dala niya. So, easily, he could reach in front. Okay? And then came the first safety car wherein courtesy of his teammate na nag-retire. So, nag-pit. Yun na nga, nag-5-second penalty. And makita naman natin after the pit, ilan yung sasakyan na kanyang na barbecue niya.
Yeah.
Okay, naka-barbecue siya ng ilang sasakyan to the point na nahirapan siya dito kay
Checo.
Checo. Okay. it is between this battle with Checo na wherein they are now actually the Ferrari pit lane is now contemplating kung ipapasok ba nila si Carlos Sainz. And siguro they were too busy calculating the tire age, the time lost. They're busy actually hindi madali yan eh. Kung magpipit ka ng isang sasakyan sa F1 eh. You need to do countless calculations to have desirable effects na yung plano ninyo.
Yep.
Ngayon, ang nangyari, sa sobra siguro nilang busy sa kaka-compute kung papapasok ba nila si Carlos Sainz o hindi, hindi nila napansin na he's doing good battling it out with Checo Perez. And I forgot on what corner was that, on what turn was that yung nakuha na ni Carlos Sainz, si Checo Perez, and when he finally got it, then came the call na Carlos Jr. box, and as usual, Carlos Sainz,
Not now.
not now. Okay?
He's kind of
Hinintay
busy.
ko na lang na sabihin,
He's kind of busy.
kulang na lang, kulang na lang sabihin, oy, nag-invento na naman kayo, stop inventing pit strategy, pit calls, di ba? Pero yun na nga, it was, hirap na nga siya from the last place, fighting, clawing his way to the front. Then came, ito pa yung mga kanilang pit calls na fiascos, na bruhas or something, di ba?
Yeah.
Parang yun na nga. Actually, medyo nabawasan yung ano natin kay Charles eh. Yung aksidente ni Charles Leclerc, medyo heartbreaking and everything. Pero then came this na not now radio call, medyo nabawasan, naawa rin ako kay Carlos Sainz. So,
Yeah.
nahati yung awa ko between those two Ferrari drivers. Pero yun ang akin. Another, as what Andy said, what was that? Tragedy? Pit Ferrari tragedy.
Tragedy. Yeah.
With a D.
Andy, do you have
Yes. Yeah, I
5
do have
cents.
something about this. Yeah, my 2 cents lang akin kasi mahal na yung 5 cents. Wala akong pera. Anyway, yeah, so ewan ko kung it was really bad timing or it's because of race direction na yung kumbaga sa pag-live edit nila ba na nilabas nila yung message ni Sainz at that same instant where he was very busily attacking Sergio Perez on his left side. But you could hear from his voice, diba, na he was really right in the middle of something.
Yeah.
It may or may not have been that exact moment na he was right beside Perez, pero still, really, Ferrari pit wall, you're gonna box him at that precise moment na he needs 110% concentration na to crash at least. Diba?
Correct.
Parang medyo dodgy talaga yung timing ng pit wall nun. Anyway, when it comes to the actual strategy, whatever. Anyway, yeah, a lot of people will say that was a bad call. A lot will say Ferrari threw away P3, a potential P3 finish for Carlos, diba? But in Ferrari's defense, kasi you have to look at both sides of the coin, diba? In Ferrari's defense, isipin nyo how hot the track is. Average 33-34 degrees. Sobrang init. Tire degradation is a very big player in this race. And of course, Ferrari being Ferrari, they didn't want to push their luck, diba?
Yeah.
Kasi yun nga, minalas na sila kay Charles. Minalas na sila doon. Minalas na sila in the last race with Carlos, with Plan E, engine exploding. So they wanted, I think this is what they wanted, is they wanted to play it safe. So pit Carlos now with, 10 laps remaining. Kasi yun nga, it is what it is. There was 10 laps remaining, and I believe no na Ferrari just chose the lesser of two evils in this case. Pit
Yeah,
Carlos now,
correct.
give him fresh mediums, let him fight his way up, and let him see what he can do. It the other thing they could have done is they let Carlos alone. He loses his tires. They fall off the cliff. Yun ang term. The tires fall off the cliff when they lose functionality. Basically, they lose grip,
Yeah.
and his lap times will start dropping. And he could have ended P3. He could have ended P9, whatever. So I think Ferrari was just playing it safe. I'd like to think Ferrari was playing it safe. Yes, it's easy to say Pitwall is a bunch of clowns. We don't know what they're doing. Mattia is a clown. Blah blah blah. But you have to. I know we're fans. We're just fans.
Yeah,
Diba?
yeah.
There's a whole office full of people whose job it is to strategize.
Yeah,
It's
but
their job. They're paid large amounts of money to decide pit, not to pit. That's just one of the many choices that they do. I guess they just saw it as it is. They wanted to play it safe. So, hence the sequence na nakita natin. Kaya nga, if you're, from our vantage point, from ating apat, from our vantage point, it's looks stupid, pero yun nga, you have to consider all the factors. Still, I'm not gonna take away the fact na talagang medyo nasayangan pa rin ako. Yeah,
Of course.
I wish there was a better way, pero we will never know kasi yun nga, that's what happened. We will never know.
yeah.
Maybe
Okay.
his tires,
Yeah, actually,
maybe his tires would malfunction, whatever. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Okay. May dagdag lang ako konti. Akin lang kasi maybe it's something to do also with the budget cap eh. With the budget cap, all the things having right now for this season. Considering bago yung sasakyan ni Carlos Sainz, so bago lang natusta, so bago yung kanyang sasakyan for this race. And yun na nga, sabi nga ni Andy, yun na nga na remember ko lang din, try to look at the bigger picture. Sacrifice mo yung place to have a podium. Sacrifice mo yung for the sake na we'll play it safe para magamit pa natin yung sasakyan for the next race. Diba?
Yeah.
Kasi pag masisira to
Possible.
ulit or aksidente ulit, possible kasi yun na nga, track temperature is really high. Kalaban talaga yun ng mga goma, ng mga gulong, and may possibility na baka masira. And yun na nga, di pa talaga nila na figure out what happened to Chuck's car. So may probably pwede mangyari rin kay Carlos Sainz. So yun na nga, bigger picture, play it safe. Di bali nang tawagin tayong yun nga, sabi clowns. Even all the Sky Sports F1 pundits, they were really in shock. Pati tayo, I was in shock then. And considering it was only 10 more laps to go, kayang-kaya. Pero yun na nga. Try to look at the bigger picture. Maybe they know something that we don't know.
Yeah.
Kaya yun yung nangyari.
Yep.
Okay, before I'm gonna give to
Yep,
Yamboy,
absolutely.
before ko bigay sa'yo, my 2 cents lang is that it was really working, no? So, medium tires, kita mo, sinabi ni Myles kanina, binarbecue niya, ang dami niyang binarbecue na cars, including one of the superior opponent, which is kay Checo Perez, yung Red Bull na nakuha niya. It's all because of his tire. Mediums yung tire niya compared to the yung tinuhog niya, lahat yung naka-hard compound. But of course, there's a trade-off. The trade-off is that they are going to pit within that period for them to get another mediums and to finish the race with the new mediums. Pero yun na naman ang itutuhog nila ulit, 'di ba? When he went out, wala na, meron na siyang 5 seconds. So yun lang yung naano ko. It's a good strategy for me, but yun na nga, maybe just a little bit,
Kinapos.
kinapos lang. But it was working because
Kinapos
the car
talaga.
was fast, the tires is doing well, and he was able to tuhog Mercedes, Red Bull, a lot. so he was doing
A
good.
lot. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was working. Yun
Yeah.
nga. Yeah, a few more laps. Yeah, maybe a few more laps. Checo would no, not Checo.
P3.
Carlos would have been on the podium with a few more laps.
Correct.
Yeah, sayang lang. He just ran out of laps. Sayang
Yes.
talaga. Anyway,
Yam,
that's
Yam
that's
boy.
racing
Alright.
for you.
finally, Yamnalysis on the real,
Alright. Okay. Kasi ganito, I watched the replay of the race, and then when the pit announced to Carlos, we will have 5 second stop and go. Kinorek pa nga niya yung kanyang engineer.
tama.
Ha? Stop and go, enjoy. 5 second penalty lang tayo. Ay, oo nga pala, 5 second penalty lang. Okay. And then, Carlos was already following up the pit. Ano, pwede na ba ako mag-box? Not yet, not yet. O ano, pwede na ba ako mag-box? Not yet, not yet. So, tinuhog niya lahat yun. Probably because yung pit, the engineers and then the strategists, they were gathering data sa tire kung kaya pa ba nilang to go all the way to the finish or hindi na. So probably they were really, really busy. And then, ito na nga, nung nakita na nila na, uy, parang hindi na aabot ito and baka dalawa ang ma-DNF natin and baka dalawang kotse na masira. So, kailangan nating i-box. So, nung in-announce nila na, okay, Carlos box, dun yung timing na talagang babanat ng
He was really,
si Carlos. Yeah. Well, actually, for me, I think the strategy works, pero this strategy is with Charles on board. Kuha mo, kung active pa si
okay.
Charles, diba? Kung active pa si Charles sa karera, this strategy with Carlos will really work. Pero since wala na si Charles and everyone who started with mediums, nag-hard na sila, si Carlos baliktad. He started from hard, nag-medium siya, and then may 5 second penalty na nahain sa kanya, kaya bad luck talaga. So malas talaga si Ferrari kasi kung hindi dahil doon sa 5 second penalty, kaya pa talaga ni Carlos. Siguro about 4 or 3, P4 or P3, kaya niyang makuha. Pero wala, yun talaga. And then, yun nga, sabi nila, yung mga announcers, yung mga pundits, yung mga, even the previous world champion, Mr. Sino yun?
Nico Rosberg.
Napan ngayon. Nico Rosberg. Oh.
Best
Nico,
friend
kung
ni
naririnig mo
Lewis
ako,
Hamilton.
Si parang Nico.
Oo, kung naririnig
Si
mo
parang
ako,
Nico.
please, magpa-vaccine ka na. Alright? I miss you on the tracks. I miss you with Toto. Well, anyway, so pati sila, sabi nila, nasayang ang Ferrari ganyan. Pero kung ako, I mean, in Ferrari's defense, tama lahat ng ginawa nila. Malas lang talaga sila. So, yun ang nangyari dito.
Okay,
Well, anyway,
Yam, just to clear out,
Okay.
the 5 second penalty was because of the Alex
Unsafe
Albon
release.
unsafe release, right?
unsafe.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes,
yun,
that's right.
Yun
Release
yung,
yun, unsafe.
yun yung malas nila. All right.
Okay,
Russell.
another issue is this one, Russell versus Checo. Okay, after this one, si Checo, iniwasan niya si Russell, kaya dumiretso si Checo dito. Eto naman si Russell, dito ako na-turn off sa batang ito eh. Puro yaw-yaw ba? Puro reklamo. Kanya daw yung truck kasi nauna daw siya sa corner. Klarong-klaro. Ayan si Checo, ayan siya. Paano siya nauna? Di ba? Masyado silang tinraining ni Toto magreklamo eh. Wala. Kay Checo pa din yung linya na yan. Pag nauna ka pa sa corner, iyo ang kalye. Yan ang rule. Diba? So, paano niya aangkinin yun? Anyway, nakabawi naman siya. Kasi nga, dahil dito sa virtual safety car ni Jong Uy. Alright, ito naman yung spin ni Jong Uy dito. This is the... I thought sana malaki-laki yung damage para at least
Hindi virtual.
hindi
Car
virtual.
talaga.
Safety car talaga.
Safety car talaga. Maganda yung karera.
kaya pa nila.
Anyway.
Kasi di ba? Lahat sila
Oo.
Maglapit-lapit.
lapit
Dikit
na
na,
lahat.
magkalapit talaga eh. Anyway, yun yung
this
nangyari.
one gave
Another worry, no? Kasi another Ferrari power unit or another Ferrari powered car gave out, mechanical failure, di ba? So again, going back to Carlos, what if hindi nila pinit si Carlos? Could he have suffered a similar fate? So we will never know.
correct. Kaya nga.
And also,
Anyway, yeah.
And also,
Sige,
hats
Miles.
off to Shoti, di ba? Kasi alam natin the French track, okay, the Las Calais track has millions of runoff areas, di ba? Buti na lang doon sa runoff area nasiraan. And not unlike Charles, na si Charles na milyon ang milya na runoff area na pwedeng maaksidente, doon pa tumama
Sa
sa tire
barrier pa.
barrier.
Yeah.
But
Kasi
anyway,
nga, Charles
Plan B.
will do plan B.
Barrier.
Plan
B for barrier.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's wait. Ano pa kayo ibang letter na ibibigay sa kanya next race?
Yeah.
Ay, marami.
Anyway,
Marami.
Yeah,
yan.
but
Anyway,
just a note. Yeah.
all these things happen. It started off with the not now radio conversation to the retirement of Shoti Zhou, and the rest of the things that we're going to tackle all happened with only 10 more laps to go
Yeah.
with the race. Diba? So parang it was somehow boring the French
Until
Grand
this
Prix,
point.
but until ito nangyari na to.
Until the last 10 laps.
10 at 12. 12. Actually, from 15 laps,
12 last
15 more
12
laps
laps.
until the checkered
ganun,
flag. Doon na nagsilabasan lahat ng mga exciting na pangyayari. Okay, moving on.
Moving on.
Yes, okay. Ito na nga, nauna na, itong reklamador na si Russell, na-overtake na niya si Checo. Kasi nga, di ba, ganito nangyari, si Checo din may reklamo. Kasi supposed to be, yung virtual safety car, matatapos na and mag-green light na by turn 9. So he was getting ready on turn 9, bumuelo na siya, pero yellow pa din. Tapos nakuha na niya ang green light or nakuha na ng racetrack ang green light turn 13, which is kaya nagpreno si Checo kasi merong speed limit ang virtual safety
Delta.
car or pati ang
Yep.
safety car. Yeah,
The
the Delta.
Delta.
Mag-i-exceed na daw kasi siya sa Delta niya kaya na pumreno siya. Ito namang reklamador, yan na ang tawag ko kay Russell ngayon, reklamador. Itong si reklamador naman, magulang ba? Alam niya si Checo nahihirapan, so kaya minor muna siya sandali. And then nung nakita na niya na nag-green flag, nag-green light na, talagang he went on with it. He gave
sent
it
it.
his all. He sent it.
He sent
so yan na nangyari. So, Checo, my boy, better luck next time. Huwag masyadong uminom ng tequila, sabi ni
Sabi ni Helmut.
Sabi
And
ni Helmut.
Si Dr. Marco.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
doctor's advice, ha? Doctor's advice.
And aside sa if you heard the radio message of Toto Wolff to Russell, di ba?
Yep.
Sinabihan niya, put your head down, George. Put your head down.
You can attack him
Sabi
again.
niya, sabi
Yeah.
niya,
Kaya po.
sabi niya, you can hunt him down. Sabi niya,
Yeah.
hunt him down. So Toto Wolff showing hindi lang confidence na pero that was his version of a on-track pep talk to his driver. Kasi you hardly ever hear George complain on the radio. Kaya this is quite surprising behavior coming from George Russell.
Kaya nga.
We all know na Russell talaga racer talaga yung dating niya, pero this is kind of This must
Actually,
be. I smell a bit of Toto Wolf in the air.
actually,
Diba?
with regards to this, nangyari na virtual safety car, sa nang incident na ito lang my take on this. Una, we don't know if si Mr. Rekla is really not that Rekla, di ba? Kasi hindi naman na-broadcast lahat ng mga radio messages di ba? So anyway,
No.
ito lang akin. What happens during the virtual safety car, okay? A driver is really in communication with his race engineer on what really settings nang gagawin sa iyong sasakyan. With all those countless buttons and everything, kung ano yung speed mo and everything, kung ano yun. Kasi marami tayong i-maintain dyan the tire temperature, the engine temperature, considering you need to drive on the delta. So you need to be in contact communication with your race engineer. So, yung nangyari ngayon dito, parang ano to actually pinasalamatan ni Mr. Rekla ang kanyang team Good yung nangyari sa kanila nung pagkuha nila kay Sergio Perez during the virtual safety car. So that means he had been coached, he had been tutored, okay? Parang step by step, parang tinuruan siya kung paano natin to gagawin itong virtual safety car na to. On every corner that we take, ito ang gagawin mo, ito ang gagawin mo, di ba? So, hats off to Mercedes engineers and the strategists on how they did it. Pero they got it, and ang lumabas tuloy parang natutulog sa pansitan si Checo Perez, di ba? Yan na nga. Pero yun nga,
Yep,
ba't
he
ko to
was-
nasabi na ganito? Okay, ba't ko nasabi na drivers are really in communication with their in their race engineers. Let me take an example. An example was Lando Norris during the Austrian Grand Prix 2 seasons ago.
Oh yes.
Yes, wherein
Yes, that was
he
epic.
wherein he was chasing Lewis Hamilton, who has a 5-second penalty, and dapat bababa siya ng 5 seconds ang oras niya, ang gap niya between Hamilton para maging third place siya. And he did it at 4.4 seconds, di ba? He finally did it. Pero paano niya nagawa yon on the last lap? Paano niya nagawa on the last lap? In every corner,
Wow.
he was coached upon by his race engineer on what to do. May mga coding pa
Yep,
sila,
engine modes, di ba?
o may mga kung ano yung tamang setting na ginawa sa sasakyan. Kaya
Yes.
kumbaga na-squeeze out lahat ng mga pwedeng mangyari sa sasakyan. So yun na nga, doon ako nabilib, parang up, down, left, right, select, start, A, B, ewan ko kung anong ginawa ni Lando Norris, kaya that is why, di ba? So, yun din ang nangyari kay George Russell, hindi nga lang siguro, para meron nga radio silent siguro, tumahimik lang muna, hindi mo na magsalita, para
Yeah, that was not
then,
broadcast.
gagawin mo.
Yeah, hindi na
Ito
broadcast.
lang ang gagawin mo
Depende sa editor.
Yeah.
Oo. Yung ano yung gagawin mo. Kasi if we're
Yeah.
going to if Liberty Media or FIA or F1 would broadcast every radio communication, di ang gulo. Ilang sasakyan yan, di ba?
Yeah.
Eh, lang sabihin mo, parang Andy,
Yes, absolutely.
Andy, select A, B, o control, up, down,
Yep.
left, right,
Ay, yeah. Magulo
select
talaga.
start.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yep,
Kakagulo.
magulo
So,
talaga.
piliin lang
Of
nila yung
course.
Oo. So, hindi na natin alam with all the chaos with the radio communications, malay natin, meron nang nasingit na itong gagawin mo, George Russell, ha?
Yeah.
Ganito, or ganito. So, may possibility na ganun. So, to the point na kawawa naman si Sergio Perez, Checo, na nagmukha tuloy natutulog sa pansitan.
Napansin.
Sa hangover sa tequila.
He was caught out.
All
Sobrang
right.
tequila. Yan.
Yam, let's
More
continue
shoutouts.
before, Merabel.
More
good evening.
shoutouts.
Yes, Merabel lang pumasok. All right, Yam. Continue.
Okay, so eto na nga
Natu-
si Mr.
Nakatulog.
Regla.
Caught out.
Mr. Regla, George
He
Russell.
was-
All right.
He was caught out.
Naunahan na niya. And
Naunahan
then,
siya.
well, after that, eto, si Max Verstappen, he got the checkered flag. He won last year, and this year he won too. Bad luck for Mr. Checo Perez from third sana na fourth. And then, ito probably is the most exciting last three last three
Corners.
laps.
Yep.
Last
Corners?
three laps
O
of-
laps
of-
talaga?
Last 3 laps.
Last 3 laps. Pero mas enjoy yung last year kasi last lap na overtake ni Max Verstappen si Lewis Hamilton. So ngayon first si Max, second si Lewis. Last year ganun din, first si Max, second si Lewis. So congratulations to Red Bull, congratulations to Max, and also congratulations to Team Manong. Team Alpine.
Alpine.
They were
Overtaken na
they
nila
were
ang McLaren.
Yeah.
They were
Yes.
P5 as a constructor. Ngayon, P4
Yes,
na
absolutely.
sila. Yeah, so this one nakita natin si Alonso talaga magulang talagang mga Manong.
Yes, a bit more on Alonso, no? Did you guys hear the transcript of Alonso in the concluding laps of the race?
No.
Diba, hinahabol siya ng mga McLaren. So the McLarens were behind Alonso, and
Hayaan niyo ako.
he was talking to his engineer. Sabi din sa kanyang engineer, sige, palapit mo sila, let them come closer so I can kill their tires. Talagang magulang talaga si Alonso. Lumabas yung gulang eh. Diba? Kasi alam niya na mas magaling siya sa tire management.
And then what's best?
Grabe.
What's best with Manong is yung mga terminologies niya, yung mga phrases niya na talagang enjoyable pakinggan ba? Like for example,
Yes, absolutely.
tell Esteban to guard like a lion. Remember that?
Uh-huh.
That was last year.
Yep. Defend like a lion.
And then last race, he raised his hand. One hand lang siya, tapos op.
Sunoda.
Isunoda, bawal yan. Tapos ngayon naman,
Bawal yan.
let them come closer. I'm gonna kill their tires. I mean, Manong Alonso,
Diba?
who wouldn't love that guy, di ba? So,
Yeah.
enjoy pag nandun si Manong eh.
So fun to watch
May-
Alonso racing.
May alam pa ako kay Manong Fernando eh. Ito na lang, ikwento ko na lang yung Manong Fernando during
moments.
the race during the race, parang ang position formation lap, alam na niya kung saan siya eh. Sasadyain niya yung katabi niya na grid, on the grid space, sasadyain niyang dadaanan doon para tanggalin yung mga rubber markings. Kasi yung rubber markings on the grids, nakakatulong yan. Tsaka, pag formation lap, kung saan siya dadaan, nililinisan niya na eh. He is somehow sweeping parts of the track na kung saan siya dadaan. Ginagawa niya yan during formation lap.
Diba?
Okay.
Matalino talaga.
Sorry, I couldn't back it up with a video, pero I saw it. I forgot I think it's in YouTube or in Reddit. I don't know. But he did it. Tapos yun na nga napansin lang, onboard cam lang. Tapos a fan did it na nililinisan. Tapos yung sa grid spot, actually it was K-Mag's
Smart.
grid spot yung kanyang ginawa na tinanggalan niya ng mga salin-salin na rubber to help him around. So that was really Manong. Actually Manong hindi naman siya tatagal sa F1 pag hindi siya Manong.
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah.
And also
exactly.
having been with all the top teams, di ba? He's been with the McLaren, with the Ferrari. Ayun na nga, wala pa siyang Red Bull, di ba? Pero malay natin, baka
Malay
Red
natin.
Bull siya.
Yeah.
Hindi natin alam. Ayaw ko kung magkasundo sila ni Helmut.
Alright.
That will be very interesting.
All right,
Race results.
here's our race result. We have Max Verstappen.
Kudos lang, no?
P1.
Before you proceed, kudos lang talaga muna, no? Kasi Max Verstappen, kudos to Max Verstappen. Very clean race. Very clean, very mature drive. Yan ang tinatawag sa kanya ngayon, di ba? Very mature drive. Under rather challenging conditions, yun nga, with the heat and the tire degradation. And considering that everything that's happened so far. So, good job. Congratulations again to Max Verstappen. Another P1 finish.
Yeah.
They did not get the fastest lap. I believe
Carlos
Sainz. Yeah, Carlos Sainz got the fastest lap at the end. But Red Bull have just widened their lead in the constructors team championship, and Verstappen has also widened his lead away from Charles Leclerc. So,
Go, Yam.
Max Verstappen, P1.
Naawa ko kay Max Verstappen.
Bakit?
Bakit?
Naawa ko kasi during the last 3 laps, all the cameras were on George Russell and Sergio. Parang, ano nangyari sa race leader, di ba? Ano nangyari sa race leader? Wala na. Parang, nakikita lang natin yung time difference nila, di ba?
Yeah.
Kahit yung kay Hamilton, walang camera kay Hamilton.
Difference.
Makita natin dyan. So, wala talaga. Nakita na natin si Max Verstappen was during the checkered flag. Yun na.
Checkered flag. Last
Pero
corner.
all the time,
Checkered flag.
yes, all the time, all the cameras were on George Russell
And
Sergio Perez.
Yeah.
Di ba? So, kumbaga, kawawa siya, wala siyang media mileage, pero swerte naman nung mga sponsors kasi nandiyan naman si Sergio Perez, nakita naman yung mga sponsor ng Red Bull. At nandiyan rin yung mga sponsors ni Mercedes, kita naman. Yun na nga. Congratulations. Congratulations kay Max. You extended the lead and see you in Hungary.
And of
Yes.
course.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yam, proceed.
Race results natin, Max Verstappen on P1, Hamilton P2, George, aka Mr. Regla.
Boy Regla.
On P3, Sergio Perez on P4, and Carlos Sainz. He made it to P5. Manong Fernando, come on. All right, idol. Lando Norris, 7. Esteban Ocon. Daniel Ricciardo, congratulations. Second point niya ngayon, no? Second. Yung first, last okay. Yung first is Red Bull Ring. Ito ang second point niya. And then Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll.
Lance Stroll for the last point. Yes.
May issue ako dito kay Lance Stroll, pero tsaka na natin i-discuss pag nasa number 1
next meeting.
They nearly
Right.
muntikan pa silang magbanggaan during the last
Banggaan
Ni
ni
Vettel.
Vettel.
ni Vettel.
Oh.
All right.
Anyway,
Okay,
Myles will be happy kasi McLaren had a double points finish for the French Grand Prix, di ba, Myles? Yeah.
Okay.
So McLaren fans, bit of a celebration kasi McLaren isn't having the McLaren isn't having the best season, let's be honest, di ba? But they did bring in some upgrades for the French Grand Prix and looks like it's paying off a little bit.
Yeah.
Kulang lang ng refinement, obviously. Pero, yeah. So, McLaren fans, keep the faith. Trust the process.
Yes.
Yun na nga. Pero yun na nga. Tama na.
Sige.
Speaking of McLaren during the race, Yam, pwede pabalik dun sa standings.
Sige.
Final standings for the French Grand Prix.
Classification muna.
Wow, yan na lang.
Yun na.
If you can see, the McLarens became the palaman in the Alpine sandwich.
Oh, yeah. That was the
It was for how many laps on the last parts of the race? That was Alonso, Norris, Daniel Ricciardo, and Esteban Ocon. Matagal na portion of the race na ganyan. Pero yun na nga, makikita natin ang oras. Ang oras ni Ocon and Daniel Ricciardo is really magkakalapit. So parang kayang-kaya talagang kunin ni Esteban Ocon ang si Daniel Ricciardo. And yun na nga, nakakaawa, heartbreaking also for McLaren na they were easily overtaken by the Alpines, not only during the race but on the standings.
In the
Yun na nga.
standings
Pero
as well.
the season is not yet over. Hintay lang natin, tingnan natin. Baka mag-work na yung upgrades na ginawa ni Lando Norris. And do you guys know ano yung upgrade na ginawa ni Lando Norris? If you only
Ano ba? Ano ba sa kanya?
if you really ang tawag nito, bantayan nyo ng mabuti ang pit garage during the race ng McLaren. Ha? All the pit crew actually all the people there are running their caps backwards. Ginaya
Hindi ko
nila.
napansin.
Ginaya nila si Lando Norris who's wearing his hat backwards. So
Talaga? Hindi ko napansin.
aerodynamics.
Ano talaga talaga?
Pansinin nyo, all of them are doing like that. Kasi kung ano
Sige
to,
nga.
papauso si Lando Norris. So anyway,
Hindi ko
that's on
napansin yan.
on the lighter side of what the tragedy also of McLaren.
Yeah.
Not so pleasant results. Pero yun nga, may Hungary pa tayo. Okay,
Yam, go.
Balik kayo.
All right. Here it is. Results for driver standings after the French Grand Prix. Max Verstappen is clearly ahead at 233 points.
Yeah,
Leclerc at
layo.
170. Sergio Perez 163. Sainz 144. George Reclamador Russell at 143.
GRR.
Lewis Hamilton 127. Norris 70. Ocon 56. Bottas 46, and of course Manong Alonso at 37. Then we have the team standings. Red Bull, Ferrari. Red Bull is cleared 396, Ferrari 314,
Layo na.
Mercedes 270, and just like that, Manong's team Alpine
na.
on P4 na sa constructors at 93. McLaren 89, Alfa Romeo at 51, Haas at 34, Alfa Tauri 27, Aston Martin 19, and Williams or Team Albon 3.
Yeah.
Still free.
All right.
All right.
So exciting
Very,
konti
yeah,
na pakunti.
interesting race.
Konti na pakunti. Yes.
Yeah,
Next
okay.
race.
Next race. Miles?
Next race. Let's look forward to the next race kasi we are going to Miles,
Budapest.
where are we going?
Hungary.
We're going to Hungary. I am Hungary.
Yeah, so-
Okay,
The Hungaroring.
Hungaroring. Okay, meron lang sana akong dasal na wag naman sanang umulan at baka
Yes,
lights
yes,
out
yes.
and away to go
Correct.
for
Correct.
one guy lang. Remember niyo last year? Nasa
It was
si Lewis Hamilton.
It was Esteban Ocon's. It was Esteban Ocon's race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Alright.
yun.
So,
See you
yeah.
all on
Let's see. Yeah.
on
Next week.
July, ano ba to?
29, 30.
Next week na to. This weekend
This
na,
weekend.
diba?
This weekend.
This weekend, yes.
Yep,
We're
that's
heading
this weekend.
to Hungary.
After that,
And-
it's gonna be break. No, may break na. 3 weeks
Yan lang.
break. yata.
Oo,
break na
tama
nila.
pala. Summer, ano sila? May break sila.
Oh, we're gonna miss you
So,
guys.
that's three weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks ang break, di ba?
Yeah, 3 weeks.
Oh, what am I gonna do for 3 weeks? As it's a duty.
Yun nga eh. Yun ang
Ano magagawin ko?
problema.
Yeah.
Sige lang,
Alright.
Dee, that would
nako.
be enough time. That would be enough time for Jong to ship your uniform.
Oo nga,
Para
no? Beke naman.
Yeah.
Beke naman. Jong would be shipping.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Di, papadala daw ni Jong kung ano yung favorite team mo. So finally, you could be wearing a Williams team shirt na.
Uy! Pwede Haas. Haas ako eh.
Yeah.
Yes, ako. Mick Schumacher.
Yes. Kung ako,
Hopefully.
ang pinaka-idol ko talaga si
Let's talk on our group
Sige.
chat. Anong uniform gusto nyo
Yeah.
susuotin? All right.
Larga.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So, anyway, next week we will catch you again for the post race breakdown of the upcoming Hungarian Grand Prix. That's this Sunday. Um, wala tayong times diyan sa Pinas na kung anong oras yung race
Europe,
diyan na
I
sa
think
sa
it's
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock pa rin.
9.
Because
around
Europe.
9 p.m. pa rin ba?
Yeah.
Yep. So, God knows anong oras yun dito. Baka madaling araw na naman. Alas 2, alas 3 ng umaga na naman yun dito. Ang bihira. As is
Alright.
usual na dito sa New Zealand. It's hard to be an F1 fan if you're living here in New Zealand. For anyone who's asking, who's curious, mahirap talaga. buti na lang minsan nakaka-night shift ako. So I don't tell anyone, pero I watch the race at work pag night shift.
All right.
Kawawa naman
Baka
mga
marinig ng
pasyente.
boss ko.
Kawawa naman yan.
Wala ka pasyente, so yun ang maganda. Pako eh.
All right.
Anyway,
So, last few
yeah,
words before we
so-
go. Andy,
Yeah.
start with you.
So so of course, thank you guys once again for joining us for tonight's post-race breakdown. This has again been the Racing Lines, the Purple Sector, and what an interesting race it was. Paul Ricard, again, like I mentioned, not the most exciting track in the world, but delivered another world-class race from this weekend, diba? So, thank you guys again for watching this show. If you're watching this after we record it, thank you still for viewing it. Thank you for your patronage. And we hope to see each and every one of you back here, same time, same place, next week, next Wednesday, dyan sa Pinas, 8:30 p.m. after the Hungarian Grand Prix. It's gonna be quite the fun show once we get to that. But until then, everyone, stay safe, wash your hands, get vaccinated.
All right. Myles.
Okay, thank you guys for joining us tonight. And just what Andy said, see you next week as we head to Hungary. And hopefully, I expect no track times shall be deleted during quali para wala namang masaktan. And yun na nga, track limits deleted. Okay, anyway, so thank you internet, thank you for joining us, thank you YouTube, thank you Facebook, and see you next week.
All right. Yam.
Okay, once again, thank you for watching the show. I hope you learned something today, and if not, I hope you were entertained. And once again, stay safe mga kababayan in Northern Luzon. Bantayan nyo, meron pang mga aftershocks yan. So I hope everyone is safe. And well, getting ready for for Hungary, and the number of races are getting lesser,
Smaller.
points are getting higher, and the chances of other drivers may
Closer.
pag-asa pa. Yes, closer. So
Yep.
looking forward to that. Thank you for watching the show. Thank you once again sa mga nagpabate. And yeah, good night.
Sponsor mo.
Thanks.
Sponsor mo.
Yeah, all right. Tama, tama.
Huwag mo kalimutan.
Thank you very much. Rust Masters Photoshop for my new camera here.
All right.
Hey, kaya pala glowing eh.
All right. So,
Ganun talaga yan.
baka naman.
Nag-work yung back-end mo, Nag-work.
All right. So,
Tumalab.
yeah, it's another fun Wednesday. It was really a fun race, lots of happening. And again, so thanks to these three gentlemen right here for spending another purple sector with you guys. So maraming salamat. We'll see you next week. Stand by for Hungary Grand Prix. So, yun. See you. Andy, Myles, and Yamboy, we'll see you next week. Bye.
Next week.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night. Myles, ano, hindi ka magano. Ganda na yung Myles. Ayun! Alright.
Yeah.
Right, see you, bye. Okay.